Him 6 months to get his act together.
All aboard the Balmoral, on course for a new lease of life as she goes into dry dock for rest and repairs.
And who's the city leader supporting plans for a pool for disabled children? The red trunks may give you a clue.
Good evening. The Chief Constable of Avon and Somerset's been suspended from duty after allegations made by a number of female police officers and staff.
Nick Gargan was sent home from work this afternoon by Sue Mount-Stevens, the woman who appointed him a year ago. She said he was devastated.
Mr Gargan took up the post following the sudden departure of the previous Chief Constable, who later claimed he'd been forced out. Here's our Home Affairs correspondent, Steve Brodie.
Nick Gargan has been in the spotlight since his appointment. But today he found himself at the centre of serious allegations about his behaviour towards female police officers and police staff. He was suspended by the woman who appointed him, Crime Commissioner Sue Mount-Stevens.
I was told about them by whistleblowers last week, and I spoke to the IPC on Friday, and on Monday they came back and said they were going to start an investigation today, which has happened.
Both the Chief Constable and the Crime Commissioner have prided themselves on their policy of transparency and openness. And now that very policy is being put to the test. The Commissioner says she hopes the investigation by the Independent Police Complaints Commission will not be delayed.
These are allegations that the IPCC will be investigating, and I've asked them to do it as quickly as possible, but obviously ensuring it is robust and fair to the Chief Constable and also fair to the organisation.
How did the Chief Constable react?
Obviously, he is devastated by the news, and we will wait now to be contacted by the IPCC. I'm very upset about it, as will be the organisation, but I want to make it very clear these are only allegations at this point, and the act of suspension is an act of neutrality. It is not making any judgment, and I've been very clear about that to the Chief Constable, and I'm very clear about that to the organisation.
Nick Gargan was appointed the new Chief Constable of Avon and Somerset at the start of 2013, taking up the post in March. One of his first campaigns in office was to write to local councils, offering help to turn the area's speed cameras back on, a campaign that proved more popular with some authorities than others. In June 2013, Mr Gargan let slip about the possible start date of the West Somerset Badger Cull, a start date which was still supposed to be a closely guarded secret. And by the autumn, he told the BBC how his officers had failed murder victim Bijam Abrahimi, the man who was beaten and set on fire following rumours he was a paedophile. The Chief Constable will remain suspended on full pay until the completion of the investigation now being carried out by the IPCC. Steve Brodie, BBC Points West, at Police Headquarters at Portishead.
And Steve joins us now. Steve, as you said, that inquiry has already begun. How is it likely to develop?
Well, David, I can tell you that 2 officers from the IPCC are already working at Portishead. They were there this afternoon when I went to interview the Crime Commissioner. They will interview all these whistleblowers, the women who have made these allegations. They will carry out a very thorough investigation. They will talk to them. They will also investigate and indeed talk to the Chief Constable to see what he has to say. It's ironic that both the Chief Constable and the Crime Commissioner have been asking the IPCC to hurry up the investigation into the Ebrahimi murder. And now she's wanting this investigation to hurry up as well. These allegations are in some way historic. They are alleged to have happened last year. So it's taken some time for them to come to light, but it has been very quick indeed. Friday, she was told, and here we are on Tuesday with the IPC already in. Now, the IPCC themselves have just confirmed that they are carrying out the investigation. They're very loath to give any details, and indeed, it's unlikely that they will. But I suspect there will be calls for this investigation to be really put through, and we won't have these long delays like we've been seeing recently, especially with the Ebrahimi case.
Steve, thank you.
A kitchen fitter and carpenter from Midsummer Norton told